What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another video here at the Fortitude Investing channel. I just want to talk today. I'm just getting started today with XRP just killing it today in the first launch for this first spot XRP ETF. Canary Capital with Nate Garachi just saying, highlighting uh, what happened today. By far the best performing ETF day one this year in 2025. Also, nearly 250 million in inflows. And he also says, I ask once again, who could have seen this coming? It is definitely interesting to also state Canary Capital only has about 100 million in total assets under management. 100 million. To put that into perspective, BlackRock, it's like I think they have over 13 trillion dollars in assets under management. That's like taking all of the Walmarts in all of the world and taking that revenue and comparing it to your local grocery store. That's like the difference here. The amount of demand for this asset is through the roof. And today, anybody else who is sitting on the sidelines, I think this kind of answers those questions. The ETFs are extremely important for scalability, but until the Clarity Act, I can't see short-term price really going through the roof. These ETFs are important for scaling these assets, but we need the clarity. So again, this is not something where you're just going to walk in here and put $1,000 into a coin and walk out with $10 million. It's just not how this works. I don't know if people have done that and maybe it did happen. Congratulations, you're very far in between, far few in between. But we're trying to be realistic here, long term, and to buy and hold, and if you'd like, self custody. I self custody personally. But also, do keep in mind that you know you can look at it as it's frustrating the price action. We're seeing a dip, or you can say, wow, this is a blessing. I get to continue to keep buying this at a low price. All I'm gonna say here is patience is hands down the most important thing. Is patience. Continue to keep stacking money, continue to keep working hard, continue to keep buying these assets. And I want to put this in a little bit of a perspective for you guys here. Now we're gonna take a little trip in history here. Now follow me here. I want you to think about ancient times in history. Before technology, before, I mean, really anything. I mean, let's go back 2,000 years ago. They're really, the only currency was hard currency, gold, silver, bronze, whatever, right? Think about what is hands down the most important hard asset in all of history, dating back to the beginning times in the Bible, right? If you can look back, it's always been gold. Gold has started and ended wars, has made people, do things that they probably would never do, um, fighting wars, traveling across the world to find, gold rushes, anything. And people would hide this stuff, people would self custody it. Gold was hands down and still is one of the most valuable assets in all of history and all of humanity. Gold itself, right? Now, you want to call Bitcoin the digital gold, right? Just follow me here for just a minute here. If we're going to call it the digital gold, do you think that the same principles, to a certain extent, apply? Me personally, I agree. Now, and this is not me. This is Jamie Dimon, right? CEO of JP Morgan. he quoted, there's gold, and anything else outside of gold is just credit. That's all it is. So any sort of cash, any sort of loans, whatever, it's credit. Gold is the only true money slash asset, right? And Jamie Dimon also says Bitcoin is very valuable. It's like the digital gold, right? Now, I'm going to go out here on a limb, but I'm just going to say this. Do you think personally, if this is digital gold, that there would not be people who are greedy, people who want all of it, and people who are willing to do just about anything to have it? I believe that they will. I believe that they already have, and they will continue to keep doing it. What's the difference between gold and Bitcoin? We know the exact to the T supply of Bitcoin, right? We know how much is circulating. We know how much, how much there can ever possibly be. Now we can argue how much there actually is. That's for a different video. Let's be honest here. Gold can be manipulated. Gold can be, you'll hear in history about they would make coins with gold labels, but they were actually they were lighter because they would use less gold. They would try to sell it as still, still as a gold coin. Bitcoin is in and of itself impossible to change. It is impossible to add more Bitcoin, right? It's always going to be 21 million. So just think about this for a minute. And, aside from just the XRP ETFs, I'm going to make this video a little bit shorter just because it's a lot. I did want to talk a little bit about the news, but I want to be a little bit speculative here because I don't ever really do that. I just want you guys to put this into perspective, is that if Bitcoin is truly the next biggest asset, it will be hands down the most valuable thing. Not just because of, oh, the price is going up or the price is going down. Bitcoin is not a stock. You not buy it and then hold it and then sell it for a return. This is not a security. This is a commodity, an asset, right? There's more use cases than just buying and holding. If this goes the way that it could go with the Clarity Act and banks and institutions continue to keep adopting it, this will be a wealth building tool in the future for you, for me, for anybody else who wants to buy this, right? That's why I preach so much of, okay, if I put $1,000 into Bitcoin versus XRP, probably going to make a better return on my XRP just because, well, the price can move more quickly. But it's not always just about price. It's about what else can they do for you, right? That's the important part here. This is long-term thinking here. In 10 years from now, can you borrow from your Bitcoin? Can you borrow from your XRP? Can you earn yield from these tokens? That's the important thing. To go to sleep and you're still making money. That's important. Here's something else to think about. A 10% return on $1 million is $100,000. Just the S&P alone, the S&P 500 alone returns on average 10%. That's $100,000 a year. That's more than 80% of the world. I don't know exactly the perfect numbers, but that's a lot of money for literally not doing anything. Again, it's possible you can make this stuff happen in crypto or through a job, whatever it can possibly be. It's just getting to those numbers that can be difficult. But I do believe that you can do that. Making money off of buying and holding and earning yield from your tokens, that's what we're talking about here. This is bigger than just buying and holding. This is bigger. than just speculation of a coin. I know that was a lot. A little bit speculative here on this one, but congratulations to Canary Capital for their amazing ETF that they just did. I'm sure that your record will be broken very, very quickly. But while you still hold it, congratulations. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Know what you want and believe that you can and will get it.
Your time is limited.
Always keep going.
You kill me! Keep going! You keep going!
A Thessalonian you're fighting. He's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him.
That's why no one will remember your name.